Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number 13, and my name is Henry.
I'm Chloe.
And today, no Braden. Unfortunately, he's having car trouble. But in his place is Mr. Jacob Bowers, who was on once before. So, Jacob, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here again.
And so today we're going to be doing Stephen King's It, and we're also going to be doing the new Netflix movie, Little Evil. So it's going to be a fun show.
Oscar contender, for sure.
Yeah. Then we're going to be also talking about Star Wars news, some mail, and all the usual stuff. So it's going to be super fun and all that jazz. How's everybody? Chloe?
I'm okay.
Jacob?
Yeah, doing well.
Good.
Just trying to get through.
All right. It's too bad Braden isn't here because he's always the talkative one.
He is.
Yeah.
That's why I paused after you introduced yourself, because I was waiting for... I'm usually the tertiary member.
Oh, right. It's too bad. Well, yeah, I'm doing all right. Same.
You're doing better than me, Henry. I have to get surgery in a week.
That's true.
No more information given.
No, that's it. Surgery.
You have to give surgery in a week? Is that what you said?
No.
No, yeah, she's a surgeon, by the way. Part-time podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's not too much going on. I feel like we never have anything interesting to say, really. Well, except for, I guess the last thing we had was that Daniel guy.
Who? Oh.
That you were living
Danny.
with. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Living with
fun.
Daniel?
Yep.
Yeah. Weird guy.
Daniel Radcliffe?
No.
It just got really sad.
The weird Daniel.
genuinely.
Maybe one day.
Only... Oh, for sure. For sure.
You know his house, right?
I don't know his address.
Oh.
I just know the approximate locations, which is normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for a fact that he dates out of the celebrity pool.
Thank you, Jacob. Jacob's behind me.
Oh,
I really appreciate it. Jacob just wants an invite to that celeb wedding is why.
No judgment here. No judgment here.
I made a slight list because I missed the whole week of talking about Cedric, and I'm really upset. Also known as Robert Pattinson.
Of what?
Robert Pattinson.
Right.
Cedric Diggory.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So I made a really short list of things I would have mentioned last week.
Oh, okay, go.
Give him the chance.
Yeah, give it to us.
He said he doesn't like his nickname R-Pats #1.
I wouldn't either.
Okay. He supports Arsenal, as do I. That's a big deal. He played Reese Witherspoon's son and love interest. Separate times, obviously.
Yeah.
But interesting. Okay. There's an asteroid named after him.
What?
Because there's just an astronomer who's a huge R-Pats fan.
Oh.
And then I looked up a picture and he's like 75. I was like, okay, do you.
Wait, do you like the name R-Pats?
I mean, I prefer Cedric.
You prefer Cedric?
That's his best role to date.
His best role to date, really?
There's a girl at work who just calls him Edward. I said, oh yeah, I'm going to see Good Time. And she said, oh, with Edward?
No.
He's getting a lot more serious in acting. He said that his entire performance in Twilight was based on the discomfort of wearing contact lenses.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
That's cool.
It is. He's a neat guy. He hates those movies. I have a picture with him. He was expelled from school for carrying snails around in a milk carton, and then again for selling explicit magazines.
That's a harsh punishment.
He went to very fancy schools. The comedian Jack Whitehall? They went to school together. Fun fact.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the
fun.
list.
You have a picture with him, you said?
Yep.
Where's the picture?
Do you have that picture?
Nope.
Show it to the audience.
Oh.
I can't. I can show you the list.
Visually describe it.
She can read the description. Yeah. That's okay, though.
Yeah. And then,
next time.
I wanted to thank you for mentioning Daniel Radcliffe last week.
When did we do that?
Because he's a dreamboat. I don't know. But you did. And you said, oh, too bad Chloe's not here. So I appreciated that.
Oh, right.
You weren't here last week?
No, because my knee is dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah, it was just Braden and myself, so. Thrilling show.
Snooze fest.
Thrilling, yeah. I think listeners will probably just, But
yeah, I was going to be there, but I had a bit of a 3-day cold.
Come on, Jacob.
Yeah. Oh, you went to that convention, right?
Yeah, I went to Dragoncon.
How's that?
It was great. It was,
What is
it was a lot of fun.
Dragoncon?
What do you do there?
It's like Comic-Con, but a little bit smaller scale. But
Mostly Aragon.
Still bigger than some of the smaller ones. There were 100,000 people there.
Ooh,
Does everything have to do with dragons?
No, not necessarily.
Oh.
It's just like comics and fantasy, and everyone dresses up.
Oh.
I saw the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Ooh.
Word.
They talked about Star Trek.
Any of the new Star Trek people there? Chris Pine?
I think
Chris Pine's not
was
the
there.
new Star Trek people because there's a newer Star Trek.
The movies.
No, the TV show's newer.
I know.
Didn't even come out
No,
yet.
well, William Shatner was there. William Shatner was there. He had.
Ooh,
No
the
way.
Shetty. That just came out of... I don't know.
Yeah, his name would be
Yeah.
W. Shatz by the Robert Pattinson method. That's
Yeah.
not good.
W.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart was there as well. Yeah.
Patty Stew? Did you
Patty
talk to
Stew.
him?
I did not talk to him.
Oh
The
my
Stewmeister.
Funny panels are always crazy. You always get famous people, and then a bunch of fans of those famous people, and then a
Yeah.
bunch of super fans of those famous
Was Chris
people.
Hardwick there?
Who are the one? What?
Was Chris Hardwick there?
No.
Dang.
As far as I know,
He's my
then you
favorite.
get,
Opportunity missed.
you get a bunch of super fans that just ask weird questions
Like
because they're the
creepy
only people that
questions?
ask questions. They get up and it's just really cringy, and you're just like, well,
Yeah, just shut it.
Yeah,
Maybe you
alright.
should have asked a question, Jacob.
Patrick Stewart wasn't in the panel the first day,
Oh.
but he was there the second day because my girlfriend wanted to go to both because obviously Patrick
Right on.
Stewart got to
Did-
see him. So this one girl, I'm sorry if you're listening, but she
She probably is.
she asked the cast what they thought of this certain episode, but it was an episode that only starred Patrick Stewart, so it was really weird because they were all just like, well, we don't know, we weren't there.
Oh, wow.
So I don't
That
know.
was probably her goal. How many Ian McKellen questions were asked?
Not a lot, no.
For real?
There were a lot of X-Men questions asked.
Okay. Doesn't count, but yeah.
People asked Lamar Burton about
LeVar.
I'm sorry.
LeVar Burton. We saw him in New York.
I was like, is it Lamar?
How many people have we
Lamar
got to
Burton?
create a list?
LeVar Burton.
Yeah, LeVar Burton. They asked him a lot of questions about reading Rainbow. So,
That's fair.
Right on.
anyways, it
See,
was a
we're
lot of fun.
interesting.
You are. I didn't
Said there was
say
never
you weren't.
anything interesting. I also made new friends who really like movies, but they're freshmen in college boys, so it's kind of
In
weird.
high
Where'd you meet them?
In college. They're on my soccer team, and we have to drive them to and from because they're in dorms.
What
But
kind
they
of
really like movies.
what kind of movies do they like?
They like making movies.
Oh,
They're
Oh.
planning a Harry Potter something or other.
Oh,
Great.
And I said I should be involved. And they said, obviously.
You gonna play Hermione?
I'll probably play all the women,
All the women.
realistically.
yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I meant to ask was so Jacob didn't show up for the Good Time.
No, so
podcast?
Jacob-
Other Jacob, to be clear
Jacob-
to the audience.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have the other Jacob on. Again, both Jacobs are becoming elusive for their appearances. I mean, mostly the other Jacob now, but he texted me and said, "No, my car exploded."
Oh, he said that.
The morning of.
I think that's pretty typical of him.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We all
Oh,
were in the
yeah.
same film program together.
Oh.
Yeah.
We were.
We were. Yeah, we
You
were.
guys
We're gone.
moved on.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing now.
To bigger and brighter things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm living the good life.
The dream.
Jacob. Gosh. But yeah, hopefully he'll be on at some point because I wish we could have had him on for this one since he loves horror movies. But oh well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's seen it yet. I was talking to him about it.
It's probably too mainstream for him. So
That gets so confusing. Every time,
Other Jacob
every time I
I'm
talk to
sorry.
someone,
I was nervous. I was telling I have to be driven everywhere because I can't drive because my leg is
my knee.
a disaster.
Leg.
And so I was like, my mom, I was like, oh, I just realized, because you said Jacob was coming, and in my mind, I assumed it was the horror movie Jacob, because we were talking about horror movies.
I mean, I'm a horror movie, Jacob.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but apparently the other one likes limbs and stuff being
Limbs and stuff.
off
I
of
think
bodies.
he's the gorehead.
Well, he did say his favorite horror movie was Audition, so
I don't know what that is.
It's a Japanese film.
it's very
Oh.
gorgeous.
South Korean. Anyways,
Yeah.
Go
so
on,
I
go
was
on.
talking to my mom, and I was like, I'm really scared to meet him, not only because he really likes horror movies, but because I've said so many bad things about him.
he's
before knowing
he's
him.
a very sweet guy. So.
Really?
Oh yeah, very sweet.
I don't understand people who like gory movies. Speaking of which, I said, because I couldn't go anywhere by myself again, also I wouldn't go see this movie by myself because I would start crying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I went with my friend Kira, and I was like, it's not going to be that bad. It's not like a kid's arm is going to get chopped off or something. It's funny if you've seen the
Little
movie.
did you.
Spoiler.
It gets so confusing talking to people about it, because of the article It.
Yes.
And then everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" You got to remember to capitalize it.
Yeah.
Just draw
Capitalize
it,
it, people. Come on.
Have you seen it? Or like you Google how long is it, and then Google doesn't know what you're talking about.
You can just preface this with the movie.
Yeah, you got. I always have to
2017.
type in
I just put it 2017. That usually gets me there.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're having trouble searching it on Google, now you know how. We are there for you. So. Okay, well, perfect segue here. If y'all want to talk some It.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a listen to a clip.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
You look like a nice boy. Do you want a balloon too, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown. Now we aren't strangers, are we?
I should get going now.
Oh, without your boat? Here. Take it.
All right, so It is directed by Andy Muschietti and stars Bill Skarsgård, Jaden Lieberher.
He practiced this beforehand.
Jeremy Ray Taylor, Sophia Lillis,
Yeah.
Chosen Jacobs, and Finn Wolfhard.
Stranger Kid.
Stranger
Stranger Things.
Jack Dylan Grazer
Oh yeah, the best one.
plays Eddie, my favorite.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so cute.
And the plot synopsis is a group of bullied kids band together when a shape-shifting demon taking the appearance of a clown begins hunting children. So what did y'all think of Stephen King's It?
I loved it. I loved it.
He saw it
great.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. I just have so much to say about it. I don't know. I'm gonna expose my friend. No names, but I had a conversation with my my friend
names
the other
here.
day. I had a conversation with my friend the other day. It was sort of tantamount to insanity, I thought. We had a long conversation about it. And
Oh my God, they did.
He hated it.
The one who saw it twice,
And-
was it?
No, I saw it twice.
I thought your friend saw it twice too. Whatever. Keep
No.
going.
Well, I mean, yes, but he's not the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
But he, I don't know, he just hated it. And then I was trying to explain, would you rather see this or would you rather see, like, The Gallows or The Bye-Bye Man or, like,
Both brilliant films.
Paranormal Activity 6, Insidious 4, and he said something to me, he said virtually indistinguishable in my opinion. And I was like, this movie is virtually indistinguishable from pipeline horror to you? I don't know, it just didn't make any sense to me. And then he called me out, he was like, you should be explaining to me what sets it apart. And I was like, well, if I have to explain that to you, you have a serious,
You've already
I don't
lost,
think
my
you're
friend.
friends.
you have a serious problem.
You've already lost.
It's like I was like, if you think it was, quote, a joyless experience, I think that says more
Even
about...
I didn't think it was
That's-
joyless. I
that
thought it was.
I think this says more about you than it does about the movie, especially because it's getting so much critical acclaim. There's very few naysayers, and when there are naysayers, it's usually people that are just nostalgic for the original, but they're still commending this for doing a good job.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah. But
Man.
I just thought it was perfect. Like it's still, like it had its problems. I had a problem with, putting Beverly in sort of like a damsel in distress situation.
Thank you for saying
At the end,
that.
because I think she's supposed to be. She wasn't like a strong female character in the original novel. It was very much a product of its time.
But it is
in the
2017.
in the 80s. But she, side note, Cary Fukunaga originally wrote the script for it, and he
My
sort of
favorite
had
director.
her
It was great.
written like that, and then she wasn't written like that in the second draft. Second problem I had was they really didn't spend any time at all on Mike, the African American character.
Yeah.
I
his-
agree
that was-
again.
He was sort of just like a non-character,
He was-
and
yeah.
all the other kids were so well developed
Except
and
for
so
what's his
fleshed
name?
out. They all had these personalities. They all had these
Stanley?
traits.
Which one was he?
Stanley?
Which one was he?
The
Well,
Jewish
yeah,
kid.
Stan in the original was kind of just there too, but
Yeah.
Cary Fukunaga made him a goldfish. I approve.
Really?
Yeah, he made him Eddie's pet goldfish that they just carried around.
Classic
I'm like,
Cary.
that's fair enough. That kid didn't do
And,
squat.
The only other problem I could say I had with it was some of the scares felt a little corny. It does fall victim to a few of the little, jump scare corniness, but most of the scares I felt were relatable and sort of fleshed out from like jump scare into like something meaningful or like something interesting. And it's sort of been altered from the original novel to where now Pennywise represents what each of these kids fears the most. And my friend sort of refused to go beyond surface level with that, and he was like, oh, Eddie's afraid of like the zombie because he's a hypochondriac. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, it's a leper, you have to understand what that is. Second of all, he's not a hypochondriac. It's his, if anything, his mother's the hypochondriac. He's received like emotional and mental abuse from early childhood by being sheltered and forced to stay in home and fed all these pills that don't really do anything to make him think he's a legitimately sick child. So of course that would manifest as like his deepest fears, just like Bill being most afraid of having to accept the fact that his brother was dead. And all these kids' fears were very deep and way more than the surface level. Even Stan being afraid of the weird painting, which on the surface is relatable, because I was afraid of weird, creepy paintings when I was a kid. But also I was reading a few analysis and people like dug way deeper. And they were like, that the painting represents his fear of accepting the fact that he's a homosexual or something, like women are scary.
We'll have to talk about that
So it's interesting. And like Richie being afraid of clowns is not just a cop-out, it's him being afraid of fear itself. Pennywise is the embodiment of all fear. And Richie's afraid of being forgotten. Richie's afraid of admitting that he's afraid. So I just thought it was a very poignant story about kids overcoming individual traumas, and it was way more than just, I would not compare it to the Bye Bye Man. No. Not at all.
I can't because I don't know what that is.
I feel like I had a lot to say. Maybe it's a little jumbled. But
Short and sweet. I like it, Jacob.
Mostly that's how I feel. I loved it. I would kind of curious to see how they're gonna handle the next part.
Second part.
Because I think when they're all like adults, it's gonna be like less charming.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Machete did say he's going to still cut back to the 80s.
Yeah, that's why I heard.
In his second part, and also I don't know if you heard the kids were asked who they would want to play them in the second part.
I'm behind the list.
That was interesting.
Except for the main kid, I don't remember who he said.
He said Christian Bale.
Yep, that probably wouldn't work.
I like that.
I was thinking, he looks like Bill Skarsgård, so I was like, just have Bill Skarsgård play both characters.
Have you all seen the images of Christian Bale preparing for
Cheney?
That's insane.
Yeah,
he's been eating a lot of pies, as he said. So,
like Eddie said, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I
Stan wanted Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Just another Jew.
And then Chastain.
He looks like Ryan Gosling more than Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Rich, he wanted Bill Hader. I thought that was perfect. Finn Wolfhard, Bill Hader.
I like it.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain was in the director's first movie, right?
Yeah,
so,
Mama.
Mm-hmm.
There's your in.
Yeah.
And let's see. Chosen Jacobs wanted Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really good. And Ben, little fat kid.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, yeah.
Chris Pratt would have to start to gain all his weight back.
He could.
No,
he said he can do it.
Because in the
he likes it.
In the original, and I believe in the novelization, Ben grows up to be a very fit person.
Oh yeah.
Gets on the track team.
True.
And that is Chris Pratt's personal story anyway. So
yeah.
Anyways,
go figure.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of potential to just make it just the worst movie I've ever seen. But if he keeps with his vision and ties in, the charmingness of like the charm that I felt from these kids in the first movie with all these like cutbacks and things, I think it has the potential to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because side note, I did watch the original before I went to see this one because I'd never seen it.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time about a month and a half ago.
The first part holds up pretty well. The second part does not.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thought thought the movie was pretty good. I think it's definitely.
Jacob's so salty.
Yeah.
This movie is like his Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just start with me, and I'll praise it highly, and then you'll talk about how you thought
I'll
it was
destroy
okay,
it, yeah.
and then Chloe will talk about how she doesn't like horror movies.
Yeah.
Hey.
Full circle.
Oh,
Hey,
who knows? Who
There's
knows
more
how
I didn't like about this movie than the fact that it was a horror movie.
Okay.
But I also like some things. It's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
All
Henry.
right. So I thought the movie was pretty good. I think it's probably the funniest movie I've seen all year.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's something I forgot to say. Both scariest and funniest movie I've
I
seen
didn't
all
think
year.
it was scary.
I would agree.
all.
I wasn't scared, but it was unsettling.
You're like,
I wasn't
Cameron.
unsettled either. I didn't jump once. That might be why I don't like horror movies, because either they're disgusting. I looked away during the... Is it a spoiler if it's in the old one too? During Beverly's moment, I was like, this is disgusting.
The sink?
Yeah, and I looked
Oh,
away.
yeah.
But that wasn't because I was scared. Like, I thought I was going to barf.
Yeah.
Different.
Different
entity.
different
that
things.
part with the giant Pennywise, that was a good moment. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, that was
continue,
cool.
Henry.
So I did think it was very funny, and it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And for
It was-
that way, and
What's his name? Finn kept it together. Richie.
Comic relief.
yeah, I liked all the writing was very good.
Oh, those were Kerry Fukunaga's jokes. BTW. So, that's
I don't doubt it. Well, I mean, yeah, he did have a screenplay credit
2.
on there.
Oh, yeah.
Or I mean, when
Well, that's good, because they
yeah.
kept his jokes.
So I did really, I thought it was pretty funny. I really liked that. I think the scares were a little generic and predictable at times for me. Usually, I mean, I like the opening scene where where there's a very extreme violence. That was pretty effective. And then also, I thought the conversation between Pennywise and George was great. That was like almost like a Dark Knight type Joker, someone he's like some victim, and all of that. And I really like that. But I wish there was more of that.
Yeah, there wasn't very much of Pennywise in it to me.
And so
Well, there was, but there wasn't much Bill Skarsgård, I guess, is more accurate.
Right. And so, I wish there had been more just conversations with Pennywise rather than just using him as a scare tool, I guess. And I think I did like all the kids and the relationships with the kids.
Because you're a boy.
Sure. And I really liked Sophia Lillis. Lillis.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can also say the girl. Unfortunately.
So the girl, I like the girl.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
It was a star-making performance. I
thought she was great, and I've seen the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things. Wasn't crazy about it.
I don't like it that much either. I thought it was a snooze fest.
Yeah. Real
It was
sleeper.
really boring. I tried. But yeah, we've talked about it.
I did like the kid from it though. I thought he was very good.
Yeah, I like him.
He's the one that yells "Rock War," right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was great.
That's his defining moment. In fact, you got it.
Yeah, I really like that. And I definitely think it at times in terms of the scares got a little repetitive. And I just started to wear on me after a while, and I also did think it did run a little long. And I think the third act felt like, in terms of the pacing, I was kind of ready for it to be over by like halfway through the sewer sequence. Like I felt like that went on pretty long.
Yeah.
As soon as they come out of the well house and they sort of all break up and Beverly's trying to keep them together and and then it like cuts to black. I thought that was the end of the movie, but then there's a whole third act after that.
Yeah, so there's this montage of like you see some of the kids fulfilling some of the activities or goals that they'd set up towards the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, so they're wrapping it up right now. But we have this whole sewer sequence to go, and it just, I don't know if I was really bored, but I was just kind of ready for it. I was ready for it to be over for the most part.
I wasn't necessarily ready for it to be over. I was just like, well, it could have ended there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. One or the other.
Whatever. I loved it.
Yeah. And those would be my complaints for the most part. I think there might be one other thing, but I liked everything dealing with Pennywise, and I thought all the effects with him were quite good.
You know, he studied with a contortionist.
Oh yeah,
That's cray.
yeah, that's cool.
I was like, why don't you just use some special effects?
He mentioned that it took like 6 hours every day to get into his makeup, and they purposely kept him apart from all the child actors so the scenes with him would be more impactful, because they only met Bill Skarsgård once at a table read, and then they didn't meet him again until the movie was done shooting, so they sort of purposely kept them apart. And he said it was one of the loneliest movies he's ever filmed, because all the kids became super tight, and he was just by himself.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
He didn't get his 12-year-old friends. That is so sad.
They're all 14.
Whatever.
Sophia Willis.
Get it right.
I know they were saying that he might not. They were saying that he was in talks to not do the second one because his mental health was so affected.
Wow.
And I said, "Dang, you were on screen for 5 minutes, boo boo."
They wanted Tilda Swinton.
I know.
Get Tilda Swinton. I mean, I love Bill Skarsgård, but get Tilda Swinton.
I saw that.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård's or Pennywise's weird stuff he does with his eyes. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Weird stuff he does with his eyes is
It's all Skarsgård.
it's all him. Yeah, they thought they'd have to do some like CGI to make him look like weird, but Bill Skarsgård has like a lazy eye, and he can like point his eyes in different directions and things like that. So that's part of what got him the role, because he just looked creepy.
Oh, have you heard all that stuff? I don't know if you have. There's tons of stuff about how people were mad because they think Pennywise is attractive because they could sense the Skarsgård underneath.
I haven't heard much.
That sounds like a
that.
personal problem.
No, I don't know. It's a huge thing. And my friend was like, I could still tell he was cute. She was like, I wasn't scared because I could still tell he was cute.
Bill Skarsgård was in Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, he was. He was a nice sidekick who you thought was going to turn bad because that's how movies go, but, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, you mentioned something about the scares being repetitive, and I feel like that's sort of just because, much like the original, embodying this is what they most fear and things like that, they had to sort of set up a scare scene for like each child, and the way they ordered those was strange, because they'd have some that were like back to back, like I can't remember like specific examples right now, but I know there were some that were like back to back, and then they'd have like a big long scene like the one at the quarry where they all go swimming.
Yeah.
Intercut, and then they'd have like more like of like the scare scenes where it's like just the kid and Pennywise and their specific monster, and the way those were ordered was weird, because it looked like it took place over one day, but they or a couple days, but they'd intercut it with these big long scenes that moved the plot forward, and then be like, oh, here's another scare scene.
Yeah.
And it felt strange, and I was like, okay, I see that each of the kids is getting their moment, but yeah, that's what it felt like to me, was the order was strange and the pacing got off because of that.
And I think even in terms of just being scary, I would say compared to other horror movies this year, like I think even, which I actually just watched It Comes at Night last night.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, and which, I mean, there's, I think, debate. Did you see that, Chloe?
Do you think I saw it, Henry?
No. There's debate about whether or not that's a horror film.
I think it was marketed poorly. It was marketed to a general audience, and they were like, oh, come see the monster, and then everyone went to see it. But it's an indie film. It's an indie film like all these other A24 indie films that are marketed to a very specific group of people, and then the marketing was handled so poorly that everyone went to see it, and so then everyone hated it, because they were like, oh, we thought this was going to be like Friday the 13th or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They thought something would come at night. Nothing came.
This is like for the previews before it, there was like a weird cut of Murder on the Orient Express, which I'm like obsessed with, so I've seen the trailers. This is like a different one. They put like
I'm
weird.
see that with my mom.
And they put, there you go. And they put like weird music behind it.
Oh,
and I was
that
like,
Imagine Dragons song?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is
really
this?
Strange.
I said, this is
It's like the
poor
first Assassin's Creed
advertising.
trailer with that Kanye West song.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that better.
Very, very strange.
Yeah.
That,
But-
yeah.
I think that in terms of being genuinely, whether or not that's a horror film, in terms of being unsettling and lingering with you after the credits, and even something like A Cure for Wellness, or or maybe Alien Covenant, maybe that's more like it, but I felt like those were more effective in terms of being scary and unsettling as opposed to it. Whereas even when I was leaving the theater, I was thinking about, oh, that was a good movie, but none of the scares or anything were really sticking with me.
Well, it's kind of confusing because I feel like the movie was supposed to be kind of an enjoyable experience. Like, because, it was really funny, and it was like a coming-of-age story, and and I liked how the scary stuff wasn't actually super scary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like stabbing and stuff, basically, right? But then I guess it's because I don't know that much about Stephen King, but it seems like a trend. There's a lot of really, really dark stuff incorporated, but it wasn't treated, I don't know, it just felt really separate, all those little really upsetting parts.
Yeah.
I think King's novel is a lot more metaphorical and sort of very, it gets really deep into the psyche of the children.
Which I actually just started reading.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm about 100 pages in.
And in this movie, obviously didn't really attempt to do that. I mean, you can sort of read as far into it as you want, but it did make attempts to just sort of be a modernized horror. But what I liked about it so much was that it's set apart from all of the other sort of modernized horror that's coming out, because horror gets pumped out so quickly all the time. And I thought this was really set apart because it felt like a personal story.
Yeah, it felt like an actual movie.
I cared about the characters. It wasn't just mannequins
Except
being
for
put
Stanley.
into scary moments.
Ugh. If anyone here was going to relate to
okay.
Stanley, it'd be me.
Stanley. Yeah.
I had a bar mitzvah, but I didn't like him. He was useless.
In the original, he was sort of just Rishi's sidekick.
Could have been a goldfish. That's what I'm saying.
Did Carrie Fukunaga really write?
Yeah,
the
he made
character
Stanley.
He
made
out of the
Stanley
That's
a
interesting.
goldfish, and he combined Richie. The reason Richie's last name was changed is because they wanted to sound Jewish, because Richie was going to be the one to have a bar mitzvah.
Is that why Richie was present at the bar mitzvah in the movie?
Perhaps. I don't even remember
that. It felt kind
that
of strange because they didn't really set up their friendship. It was more like him and Eddie had like a back and forth. Like, but everyone's a lot of people are complaining about all the kids cursing, and things
Oh,
like
I love that.
I thought it was really
like,
cute.
that's
It's also really realistic.
That reminded me of when I was 14, 15 years old, and like when you think about it, Richie and Eddie are the only ones. Like, Bill has a few moments, Stan has a few moments, but Richie and Eddie just go in.
No, it's true.
The constant back and forth.
I coach a boys soccer team, and they're this age, and it's not a lie. They get caught, and they're like, oh, but you can tell when they're by themselves, they're just feeling very
and
empowered.
that's what I thought it was realistic, and I thought it was hilarious.
Absolutely. It was some of the most natural dialogue I've heard written and performed by children in any movie in recent memory.
I love it when one of them said he's like a walking hamburger helper.
No, he's bleeding hamburger helper.
He's bleeding hamburger helper.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it a lot.
Figure that one out.
It was good.
Yeah, Ben kind of got
lost too.
Completely destroyed in this movie. Like Ben got like cut. He got.
We were saying, how the heck is this kid surviving?
Sliced open, and then he gets destroyed emotionally because Beverly like.
Oh, see, he is the new Braden. He's about to spoiler alert the whole thing.
They have the moment with the Sleeping Beauty moment, which I thought was a little strange.
This is why I'm taking away 2 stars from the movie because of that moment.
They had kind of a strange.
Don't tell little kids it's cool to assault sleeping people.
Yeah, they had kind of a strange Sleeping Beauty moment, and then they had the moment with and she was like, "Oh, you wrote the poem," but then she just gets with Bill anyway, which is not very well covered in the original because they sort of have that triangle in the original as kids, and then later when they're adults, Bill's just like married, but then when they meet back up, they have this like passionate kiss, and you're like, what is going on here? Like, it's just, I don't know. Bill is the head loser. I don't know. Like, she should get with Ben.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Get with Ben.
This is basically Twilight.
This is a spoiler cast, right? Sorry, spoiler alert.
Huge spoiler. No.
I apologize if...
No, but people are used to Braden, so they're fine.
No joke. He literally says the end of the movie.
I am the new Braden.
Like Chloe would be like, "Oh, hey, Braden, stop!"
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "And so then the killer is this person."
I just feel like I can't say what I need to say without some context.
Right, it's fair. But see, I was trying to figure out how to allude to the bad messages you're sending the teenage boys who are obviously watching this movie. And then he just came out with it, so thank you. Made my life a lot easier.
And I understood...
Because that was really effed up. Unnecessary.
They sexualized Beverly a lot, which I thought was a little strange. There were moments where I was like, this makes sense when you're like, oh, it's just a bunch of 14-year-old boys being hot for this girl. But then there were like the moments like when she flirted with the cashier in the pharmacy.
Oh my god, I wanted to barf.
I think that
it was supposed to be empowering because she's turning the tables on him.
She was aware that she was doing it. So
no, definitely. I think she was aware, and it did make sense because I was like, I would expect a girl who's grown up with a sexually abusive father to be more promiscuous and like hardened or something. But I just know that in Cary Fukunaga's script, he just didn't have that at all.
Yeah, because
so it's just a little strange to add that in.
The whole thing about this movie, it's like quote unquote empowering her through. Let's just not. No, I don't know how to phrase this well. She's being empowered basically through how men act, even if it's acting poorly, which I don't respect at all. And that probably wouldn't have happened maybe if they had even just one other girl in the group. Because why you can just change one of them into a girl. It's not hard.
I know
just
that her scare with the blood. It's supposed to mean that she's most afraid of becoming.
Up, right?
Yeah, she's most afraid of becoming a woman because of what that'll mean for how
It's
boys will
nasty.
treat her and how her dad will treat her and things like that. Also, in the original, her dad wasn't really like a predator. He was just like hit her and stuff.
Well, apparently it was way worse in Cary Fukunaga's version, and then he pulled it back, and it was pretty good. Basically, like I said, Cary Fukunaga's my favorite director, so the whole time I'm like, would have liked to see that. I bet it would have been scary.
He left over creative differences, probably because the studios wanted this sort of damsel in distress hero golden age Hollywood moment.
That's what
more
he
of a
said.
slow
He said
burn.
he wanted it to be.
Like,
he said he wanted a much more nuanced, real. He didn't want flat characters and everything, and they wanted something that'd be successful.
And that touches on like my major problems with the movie was how Beverly was handled and how Mike was handled, the woman and the African American.
And they touched more on Cary Fukunaga's. They touched more on like police brutality and stuff like that, which isn't. I'm not saying it's necessary for a movie to be good, as you have to tackle all these issues.
Yeah, you don't
However,
have to have political comedy.
if you're working with these kids' deepest fears, they need to come from a real place. Like it's very relatable to most people.
I thought that Mike's fear would be much more racism related, but instead he just has that.
Like
he has
they
that
touched
plot
on
dump.
it.
He has that plot dump about his parents dying in a fire, and I was
come
like, that's kind of like feels out of place.
Which is why Cary Fukunaga made it. They died because of what the police brutality.
Yeah.
Which is much more integrated because they brought up racism in the movie. Like it's not. I'm not pulling this out of nowhere. If you're gonna bring it up, don't just like bring it up for 2 seconds and make it walk away.
I did really like the image of when you see his first kind of fear with the hands.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really liked that.
And then that one was just unsettling.
Yeah.
There were a lot of unsettling moments.
Yeah.
Like with the Pennywise is like in the meat locker making weird sheep noises. And
Yeah.
It's a little.
Sorry, it's scary, but it's funny.
But I mean, with stuff. What's the girl's name?
Beverly.
Beverly.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that it's. I mean, in terms of the flirting scene, I feel like, yes, they were sexualizing her, but right when the cashier went away, her face went back to normal. Like she was completely aware that she was doing it. So I don't know if it's like she's just using that to her.
Yeah, because it's what
advantage.
it's what she knows to be true.
Yeah.
It still sucks.
It's not good. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I think she was fully aware of what she's doing, but I would argue that putting the character in that situation is the writer sexualizing the character.
True.
Because it's not.
Oh, for sure.
It's just not needed.
It's saying she's overpowering her enemies by taking advantage of their weakness, whatever, which I kind of get. You know what I mean?
And
nah.
I just have strong opinions about things like that in movies anyway. Like I think it like very rarely is sexual assault or something of that nature needed in a movie, because I think you can, if you want to put that in your movie to be like, this is a serious movie, this is a serious relationship, this is a serious problem, you can sort of build like implication. You don't have to just put it on the screen like there it is. I'm not saying it did that. I'm just saying, I don't know. I think people just want to do that because they're weird.
I think
and
it
it's
depends
also
on the reason
kind
for
of
it.
the easiest.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to be like, oh, this is scary.
It's just really, I just think it's really rude to, her character, as we know, because of her deepest fear, is built on that experience, right? The unfortunate experiences.
Yeah.
And then first of all, she's the bravest one. She's the only one, well, okay, whatever. She's
She's
brave.
the Neville Longbottom
She's
of the
Oh God, Neville's overrated. She's very brave, right? As we know.
Mm-hmm.
Then, for some reason, the only girl, even though the bunch of the other boys are wimps, she's the one who's taken and at the mercy of other. Well, sorry, gosh darn it,
Damn it.
whatever. She at some points is at the mercy of everyone else, right?
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna say she's overcoming this awful thing that has to do with being a girl, and then put her, like Jacob was saying, right back in the it's stupid.
Oh, they fucked up. I don't
The
know.
only thing I did pull from that scene at least was they were putting her in this damsel in distress situation, but it also allowed her to have an individual moment with Pennywise where she told him that she was no longer afraid of him, and but then of course she just gets put in the
Yeah.
whatever the thing they never explain in any of the movies, the light.
It's all
Yeah.
very confusing, isn't it?
It is not a clown.
People say
it's an
people,
interdimensional
There's some
being.
supernatural stuff
people
they get
say
into.
people say that stuff is scarier when you don't know what's going on, and I'm like, no, I'm out of the movie because I'm like, what the heck? How is this even happening? There was so much going, and it might be because I didn't read the book, I guess, but it doesn't matter because
Well,
you're
I mean, that's-
making your own thing.
That's kind of what I was saying with comparing to other horror movies this year. Like it brings up some questions or mysteries, but they're not all that interesting.
That's not answered at all. I was so confused.
and-
He's been in this town for none of it made
Oh my
any sense.
God.
There was so much. None of it made sense. Carrie Fukunaga had flashbacks that were supposed to be there to kind of help, and they were taken out. I'm not salty about it. And they were taken out.
Not salty.
No, they were taken out. And I was just so confused the whole time.
The characterization of the bully in this version
I thought that was a little overdone.
I
was
was.
it was interesting because in the original he's like a greaser,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but in this he's like a redneck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I when he turned around when they first revealed him and I saw he had a mullet, I burst out laughing. I was like, I can't handle.
I'm not trying to be. Was he in the Dark Tower? Did I make that up? I
I
made
don't
it up.
think so.
Okay.
I like
Just
I do
kidding.
like the moment with Richie. He says, "Go blow your dad, you mullet wearing."
Yeah, that was
asshole."
funny.
Yeah, that was good.
It's a good moment.
I did think he was a little. I mean, the performance was fine, but I thought he was a little
The character.
over the top, and I also felt like they inject him into the third act, and it just kind of bloats the third act.
I think they were
more
trying
than-
to redo. You said you saw the original. They were trying to redo what they did in part 2.
Yeah.
With him getting out of the mental hospital and coming after
Yeah.
everyone, but which also feels injected in that story.
And I mean, I
So-
felt like whether or not he comes back or not comes back, but is,
I can see him coming back in part 2.
Yeah.
He survived. He's in a wheelchair or something. I don't know. Like, it's...
Like me.
But I felt like that was just something that really did not need to be there. Like they could have cut that out and everything with his father from that section, and
He was in the Dark Tower.
Oh, really?
Loons. I knew it.
What,
He played the bully in that. I knew it. Sorry, continue.
so you always make me lose my train of thought. But yeah, I just him and the scene with the father didn't have any effect on anything at the end.
That's it. Yeah, you can't.
They
that's
could
what
have
I'm
cut
saying.
him out, and everything with Pennywise would have been the exact same for the
They're
most part.
playing with too many genres without being able to put them together. And I like all the genre. Like I said, I really like those coming of age story. If this movie was about aliens or something, I'd be much more into it probably. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
I like the keeping with the theme of all of the parents and just in general the adults
didn't
of the
like that
town are
either.
just horrible.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Maybe I'm just spoiled. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, I've never had a boy, especially not people used to take my crutches into middle school and nobody ever slashed my throat open. That's crazy. That's not how people act.
Crazy.
I don't think.
Oh yeah.
He'd be in jail. That is all. But then also, parents. Why are all the adults awful?
Well, it's because the curse of the town or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was not explained.
Yeah.
You gotta have the source material for that, I suppose. But I think it's more of just seeing the world through a kid's eyes.
Kid's eyes, yeah.
they're all the parents are just monsters, but you could say it's a metaphor. It's overdone for the purposes of
It's also a rude metaphor.
being
It isolates.
children.
If kids are relating to it, it's isolating those kids. They
mean,
don't know that.
We don't
Yeah.
see everyone's parents either. Never see Richie or Ben's
Yeah.
parents.
I mean, I do think that it was done a little over the top because that way it does isolate them, and it does. And sure, maybe realistically, it's not as sound or logical as you would think, but I think in the context of the film, it feels like it's warranted because that way you do feel like they are this losers club that's isolated and have to act on their own.
For instance, like Richie, right? We never saw his parents. He might have totally normal parents.
Yeah.
Apparently, adults or something can't see the fears, right?
Yeah.
So why can't they just be like, "Oh, Richie, nothing's going on. Hope you feel better." Like they could have just been normal. They don't have to all be awful. Mm-hmm. I just don't like flat characters.
There were a lot of weird tonal shifts.
Yeah.
Like when they clean up all the blood. That was so out of place. Start like with the song and everything.
I really like the soundtrack,
and
by the way.
the rock war with the metal music.
Yeah.
You know, and then there were just some really strange moments, like when they're all in Ben's room looking at his walls.
Oh,
and then Beverly shuts the door and it does the weird zoom in with the attack on the block.
Frame.
I was like, what? That just it then sort of went back to just a lull. Everything was just.
I kind of like that.
And he's just like, shit. She saw it.
Well, because I guess it's just because they are supposed to be kids dealing with it. That's what I'm saying. I just think it wasn't sewn together as well as it could have been. All the elements they were looking for.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Chloe, did you overall did you like it or
I told
no?
you I would have given it 3 stars, but I took 2 away.
You're giving this a 1.
Wait, you would have given it 3, but you took 2 away.
Yeah.
Why not say you would have given it 5, but took 2 away?
Because I wouldn't have given it 5. I would have given it 3.
You're brutal.
But I took 2 away.
Brutal.
1 star is not for something you liked.
Yeah.
I liked it until there was assault. It's just not fine. I would have given it 3.5. I'll give it 1.5. That's as good as I'm going.
Oh, thank God.
They at least have all the kids they're like, whoa, what are you doing? Like they sort of acted like it was weird when he did it.
It worked. It was like their one. No, I'm so sorry. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
It's okay.
When it actually
That was so bad.
When it actually worked, I thought that was a little strange.
Yeah. That was so. This is what I'm saying.
When she woke up, I was like, why?
The way
they could have made a joke about that instead.
All I'm
like
saying.
she just doesn't wake up.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been.
And she's like, shit.
I mean, it still would have been bad because you still should not do that.
No.
But like, just the way they handled, and I know I'm just like, I'm always the person to wax poetic about how
Typical
movies
Chloe.
do a crap job of dealing with
I
females.
I think they do as well.
There's one girl. Well, there's the mom who's a nut job. Okay. And then there's the bully girl. Basically, there's one girl who's in the movie. Like I said, the fact that we can say the girl instead of Bev is a bad sign. They could have changed that easily. Even Stanley, he doesn't do crap. They could have made Stanley a girl or a goldfish, one or the other. Giving us something. There were just lots of little things that really irked me. They should have been able to figure their shiz out a little better, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the comedy and
It's
stuff.
just such an unfortunate problem with movies these days. I talk to my girlfriend about this a lot. Sort of like to avoid going insane, like finding things to like while also recognizing their problems. You know, Baby Driver is one of my favorite movies of all time, but Baby Driver has problems with both women and African American characters.
Yeah.
And actually,
It's just
It Comes at
I
Night.
like this movie.
The female characters are pretty underwritten. Like with Joel Edgerton's wife, very underwritten, and then Riley Keough, is it
Keough?
Keough. Yeah.
Riley Keough, who's
she's sort of just
she's
like
great,
like
but
It's crazy.
another
maturation
underwritten character.
object.
So yeah,
It's crazy making.
Yeah.
And it's art becoming life because they're making me the annoying one, aren't they?
yeah. Listeners are like, oh, here we go.
I will say that I have more of a problem with original ideas doing that, like Baby Driver, than I do like something that's being adapted.
Right,
Because I'm like,
yeah.
at least that was how it was originally written.
Exactly.
Not to say that, you know,
No, I know what you mean that, yeah.
that's okay, but
Fair enough.
product of its time.
Yeah.
The book was, not this movie.
Whiz.
Fuck Stephen King, man.
No, I was gonna mention something about a really strange part of the book, but I don't want to spoil it for you. It's
Oh,
just,
dang it! Just go away. I want
It's
to
a
hear.
part near the end
I'm
that
never gonna read it.
We'll tell you later.
Oh, I know what it
very
is.
very controversial.
Oh,
I know
the scene you're talking
We
about.
all know what it is. Even I do.
Because I read it a long time ago.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
really remember picking up on that.
Maybe
but
he's just a weirdo.
I was reading about that again recently, and I was like, well, it's it's interesting.
I'm trying to think.
Don't keep with that.
People in the news were really upset about something, but I thought it was in the movie, and I don't know what it was. You know what I'm talking about?
In the movie.
Don't think I've heard about that. But
Back to the phone.
well, I'm trying to think if there's much else. But yeah, I mean, did like all the performances for the most part. I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, nothing amazing, but
I liked the way it was filmed.
Yeah, it was
I
well
thought it was
filmed
well directed.
and well directed. Yeah,
Must say.
I must say.
I'd say 5 stars.
Ooh,
I don't think
everyone has to throw their stars out early.
I don't think child acting has. We're having like a child acting renaissance.
Yeah.
Child acting has always been very poor, and in these past couple of years, we've had some very very high quality children actors. You know, I thought every kid in It was incredible.
Yeah, same here.
You know,
Oh, it's clickbait. They were talking about that thing from the movie. I mean, from the book.
so they were all just like such high quality, and I hope that they're protected, and they don't all just
Don't pull a Lindsay Lohan.
go
No.
into drugs.
Yeah. Don't do it, kids.
No, I agree. Did you see? I was watching. I really, really like Alexander Skarsgård, and I like their last name. It's like my new favorite word. So I was watching an interview with Bill Skarsgård, and he was saying, "Did you see this?" He was talking about how like he was being really. It was the scene where he and Eddie are like face to face, and he was in the back of his head. He was like, "What am I doing with my life?" Like, because the kid was like terrified and stuff, and he was like drooling on him.
It's
And
not real, Bill.
yeah, exactly. Well, then and they did cut, and Bill Skarsgård was like, "I'm so sorry. Like, are you okay?" Right? Which, and then the kid was like, I loved what you were doing there. That was great. Like, he just stopped crying. He said, that was great. I loved it. And he was like, oh, well, that's confusing.
Yeah.
No, I think it probably is strange to act with, like all of his coworkers were children. You know, it's probably strange to.
Yeah.
You know, because
sure.
you wouldn't typically think of a child having that level of maturity to act in the way that adults do. So, you know, but all these kids certainly do, you know, like, I'm sure they do a lot of things with children to not put them directly in these situations, but I'm sure Georgie had to at least say, hey,
he's so cute.
you gotta cry because you just got your arm bitten off, you know, like, you can't hide that from him.
And I like the scene towards the end. I won't spoil it, but
Oh my god, I was shook.
It's
Oh, yeah,
already been
I-
spoiled.
I was just thinking, man, Chloe must be screwed.
I was so upset. Oh, I was done. So.
He was very cherubic.
I missed that.
He was cherubic. Very chubby little cute kid.
Oh.
Georgie?
Yeah.
Was he? I thought he was a bit of a slender man.
Not
He was so
He's a cute kid.
He was
Yeah,
so
cute.
It's a cute kid. All the kids are cute. They're
Yeah.
all adorable.
Yeah.
All adorable kids. I wish they were my kids.
Well, on that note,
Same. We were doing that. That is how, because we were really, well, I wasn't there, but it was like a little shaky. And so during the movie, we might have whispered once or twice. Don't get upset.
Oh, there's these fucking couple young. I'm sorry, I'm getting all these emails. There's like kind of diagonally across from me that they talked through the whole
Yeah.
film.
It might have been us.
No.
Okay.
I had a good audience the first time. They were laughing when they should. They were screaming when they should.
Nobody in my theater was laughing when they
Oh,
were supposed to, and it made me feel so weird. And
Yeah.
they were laughing at just the creepy stuff, and I was like, "What the heck?
But
I
yeah.
want to leave."
I was laughing at like all the kids like
All
kind of
the
raunchy
jokes.
Yeah,
humor.
because it's funny.
Yeah, because it's like they're obviously self-aware that they're
Yeah.
talking like this, and I was like laughing all the time. I was
Yeah.
kind of looking around like no one else was
Yeah,
really
same.
laughing.
But what I was saying was, we just picked out the kids we were gonna have out of the group.
Oh really?
Like, my kid is gonna dress and look just like Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah, dress and act just like him. And then we picked for our friends too. It's fine.
It's fun.
Eddie was my favorite. I liked his performance.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a cutie.
He's just, he's got it. He's gonna be a good comedic actor.
Yeah.
I think well, he already is more successful than I'll ever be, but the Stranger Things kid, I really liked him.
You know, Jack Dylan Grazer, the kid that played Eddie, he's got a net worth of $100,000.
Same.
Didn't get paid a lot for it.
Yeah.
Finn Wolfhard, though, $2 million.
Podcasting.
No
is,
way.
Yeah.
Dang, Finn.
He's got that Stranger Things money.
I know how to pick my future children.
Yeah, podcasting really gets the money, so I'm about on par. So.
What?
Podcasting is super
lucrative.
Yeah. I'm rolling in it. So.
You're
All
doing
right.
what you do.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. Well, any other thoughts on it?
You should send this podcast to all of the kids. I feel like they'd listen.
Probably
I think
so.
they would listen.
Yeah, I think
Kids are nicer than
No,
adults.
You know, send it to their moms.
No.
Oh.
Their
do that.
moms will listen.
Yeah.
You don't solicit my child. He's gonna make me money.
All right. Well, we already got.
Did you give it stars?
5 stars.
4.
Oh.
So what? 1 for you, 5.
I changed it to 1.5 to appease this.
1.5 people. 1.5.
1.5.
And 4. It's a hard 4. I would like to. I am very excited to rewatch it at some point. So it's definitely very entertaining, and much more entertaining than I thought it would be. So. Yeah.
My star ratings are kind of. They come from an emotional place.
Yeah.
They don't come.
Deep
From,
So do mine.
they don't come
Clearly.
from. They don't come from a technical place.
Deep within.
I mean, yeah.
Deep within. All right. Well, that was a good discussion.
Yeah.
Let's all right. Well, let's move on to Netflix's Little Evil, and, let's take a listen to a clip.
Everybody, please welcome Gary.
Well, my wife and I just recently got married. Hey, she's perfect. She's everything I ever wanted. And, you know, I'm having a little tiny bit of trouble bonding with my new stepson, Lucas. Whoa, look at that. You found some earthworms. Good talking to you, buddy. Never really looks me in the eye. Doesn't talk much, except when he yells at me to get out of his room. Using this weird little goat puppet thing. I get this sense that he's,
That he's evil incarnate.
yeah.
Remind me again how Lucas was conceived?
You remember when I told you about that crazy time in my 20s where I joined that sort of like cult?
No, I don't think you told me about that.
A doomsday cult believes a child will rise up from hell to rule mankind and to bring on the end of the world as we know it. I think we found that child.
Little Evil just recently released on Netflix as some of their original content. Is directed by Eli Craig, stars Adam Scott and Evangeline Lilly, and the plot synopsis is
And the guy from Scrubs.
and
a kid.
a kid.
You gotta give the kid credit. I'll look his name up.
Gary, who has just remarried Samantha, the woman of his dreams, discovers that her 6-year-old son may be the Antichrist.
Excuse me, he's 5 for the vast majority of the movie, just to be clear. IMDb. His name is
first of
Owen
all-
Atlas. It's a cool name.
First of all, I love Adam Scott.
Same.
I love Evangeline Lilly.
I like
So, as interesting as this movie was, I liked it.
I liked it.
I hated it. I thought it was terrible.
I liked it for the actors.
I liked
yeah,
it.
me too, basically.
I mean, so I like Adam Scott a lot for the most part. I really like him.
For the what?
For the just listen.
We're listening.
And I really like him in Parks and Rec and a lot of the other stuff that he's been in.
Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus.
That's part of the reason why I like that movie. It's Adam Scott.
That's the only reason I spent any
Went to
time
saw it?
on any of it. I
Yeah.
didn't go to see Krampus. Are you kidding me?
I saw it twice.
I watched it during my scary movie week at the beach, where my friends' families
right.
make us watch
I
scary
saw it
movies.
twice in the theaters.
Really. Anyways, and I like Evangeline Lilly. I mean, I haven't seen her in much besides The Hobbit. I haven't watched Lost, but
She's in Lost?
yeah, I
Kate.
I do really like her.
Dang.
Oh, she was in Ant-Man. That's the other thing I'm
Yeah.
I
thinking
didn't
of.
see that.
She's got a wig on.
Yeah. But I thought it was, so it's kind of a horror comedy for the most part. Y'all would agree.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just a comedy.
Just a
Yeah.
comedy.
With horror elements, but I thought it was incredibly unfunny, and it was very poorly written. And
See, I agree. I liked seeing Adam Scott and Evangeline Lilly on screen. It kept me going.
Yeah, I'm literally in love with Adam Scott. Like, that's basically why I liked it. He's such a good actor.
I didn't think he was very good in this.
How
I thought
dare you?
he's one of those comedians who I really like their style of comedy, but sometimes when they're given these just completely straight man roles, they just offer nothing.
I was so happy to see him as not a jerk.
His best role is on Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I was great at playing sort of just like an awkward nerd.
He's like a goofy
The
guy.
first thing it was weird. The first movie I saw him in was Step Brothers.
Yeah.
He just plays like a
He
dick.
always plays
So
a
it's
jerk, except for
strange.
Parks and Recreation and this. So I was like, yeah.
But like,
nice.
and actually, I thought, I mean, not necessarily his performance all the time, but I just felt like the writing was very subpar, and it just, I don't think I laughed once
Well,
at all.
I should say, I thought it was much funnier than this movie.
Yeah.
And I also felt like the whole kid possessed, like exorcism type
He
thing.
was Damien. You ever seen Damien?
No,
Come on now.
I'm not a showhead.
Even I think, no, it's a movie.
Oh, whatever.
I mean,
That
it's
being
also a
said,
show, but it's a movie
What are our
first.
star ratings? Good discussion.
Well, listeners
like-
are probably, it would be 1.5 at best.
I can't really decide.
Let's just get it out there.
A really, really
Two.
a pleasant 2, yes.
Two, yeah.
A pleasant 2.
Y'all hated this thing.
Pleasant too.
I liked it more,
Yeah.
I liked it more than.
even though my rating is lower.
Yeah.
But it's not my fault. My rating's lower. It's their fault.
But I also felt like the whole exorcism kid possessed was just so tired. I mean, I've seen that like 1,000
When have
times.
you seen it done this
I
way?
just feel like there's always kids dealing with kids being possessed, and they do like a satire of it. And it's just
Oh, really?
really old.
So did you pick this movie because it was another horror movie
Chloe
with
picked it.
kids?
I picked it because it had Adam Scott and
Yeah.
it had kids and scary
Yeah,
stuff.
I hadn't heard of this movie until Chloe mentioned it, but
You know who loved it, apparently? Braden.
Oh yeah, Braden apparently.
Braden loved it.
Braden apparently was laughing the whole time.
Which seems weird because I feel like Braden would be like,
I feel like it sounds weird that I know that.
I mean, you know him personally. So.
No.
no,
You guys hang out all the time.
no,
Play soccer together.
I'm not cool enough. No, I don't think Braden plays soccer.
no. Braden's
Couldn't see that.
he's weird. So,
He's weird.
but yeah, I was mostly just bored and uninterested.
I mean,
So, I thought Evangeline Lilly was okay, but was not crazy about the Scott man.
Sally Field, y'all. I said, who is that? Is that who I think it is? That roped me in.
Sally Field.
I was back in for Sally Field.
Right on.
Love Sally Field.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's great.
She's hilarious.
But yeah, there's not a whole lot I have to say. It's just yeah, it was.
They worked in. Well, I don't know. I
What?
don't want to be.
Spoiler?
I like Adam Scott's BFF.
Oh yeah. The one scene I liked was near the beginning with the 2 truck drivers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, right on.
The first scene.
Yeah.
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 Really went downhill.
And so then it just went straight downhill.
Something I didn't like at all was the kid. I don't know, he's not-
I thought he was kind of
No,
bland.
Poor
He's not
thing was
good.
not a good actor.
He's got weird hair.
I don't think the hair's quite.
Get a
Have you ever
haircut,
seen
man.
About a Boy with Nicholas Hoult as a baby? He looked just like
Oh,
this
About
kid.
a Boy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
It is a good movie, but
Yeah.
that is what this kid looked like, little Nicholas
Yeah,
Hoult.
a little bit, yeah.
Little Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like he wasn't the best actor in the world, but it made me sad to think it, so I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts?
It was funny. It was just
How
weird.
do you feel about having watched it? Like,
I hated
do
watching
you
it.
feel?
You get
Do
off
you feel
the
like you've
way?
been had?
Yeah, I could have
It was
spent
bad.
the time, doing push-ups.
You can do both.
No, I'm not. I can't watch it, and I can hear it, the audio, but not
You
watch
just
it.
have exactly at the same time press play on like an iPad and a laptop.
You do like
Oh.
you do like
Yeah.
do you like the treadmill movie
yeah.
watching, video game
Yeah.
playing
I should
Yeah.
do that. Yeah,
lifestyle?
but I mean, it's not like the worst movie of all
I
time.
liked his other movie though. The Dale and somebody do something about evil. I like that movie. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I
The
saw
guy's
that.
first movie? That was funny.
Hmm.
My best friend made me watch it. and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Dale and Tucker versus Evil. It's funny.
Huh.
And scary.
But yeah, I mean, it's...
I do wonder how this got made. I must say.
I am curious. It's like how it got a budget.
I mean, that's how I feel about a lot of movies these days. You know, you look at the cinema scene these days, and you know, you and me at least, we're in a filmmaking program, and you think, you know, why can't I?
Oh, she's in a filmmaking.
Make a movie.
Aren't you in a filmmaking program?
Yeah. Okay.
Right
So
on.
so you think why can't I make a movie? You look at all of the things that get these budgets. I feel like I want to peel back some layers to like really go in there and just be like, you know, how and why, because sometimes it's like, oh, it's because Adam Sandler's in the movie. He probably paid for it himself. Mm-hmm. You know, but then other times you're just like,
he is the new Braden.
You're like,
God.
that was just awful. You know, like Amazon instant streaming or like, you know, something that's just uploaded online. I can understand, but like something that makes it all the way to theaters.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Like, it's just
Hollywood is gone, man.
And because horror movies are so easy to get made, I feel like I could just write one today during the time of this podcast.
Probably so.
And go get it made. But
I
feel like also
you didn't even notice.
I feel like also that's not okay. I just don't understand how it works. Maybe you have to be part of the Illuminati or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe so.
I don't know, because I feel like I could make something. I could make something moderately better than some of these projects.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I wouldn't have to try very hard, but then I wouldn't be able to get it made. So you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know, not to
something like The Gallows, which is garbage, and all these other ones. They are so cheap to make, and then they make at least a few times their budget, and so they're like, oh yeah, let's make more.
You know,
of them.
two college kids wrote The Gallows, and they said they were interviewing them, and they said that they didn't really care what happened to the script. They just wanted the money.
Yeah.
Dang.
So they just sold it to Hollywood.
Cold.
Paid them like $600,000 for it. So.
Really? Oh my word.
Chunk of change. But yeah, I don't know. It's. I would like to write a Transformers movie or something.
Oh yeah.
We could probably
write a good Transformers.
I don't know anything about the.
You don't need to.
Exactly.
They didn't know anything
exactly.
about the franchise.
So, I would be down to write one.
I was at Build-A-Bear the other day.
Okay.
Because
me too.
He's not that back.
They're having $5 bears for National Teddy Bear Day.
Wait, you actually made a Build-A-Bear?
Yeah, my girlfriend and I went and made $5 Build-A-Bears.
Oh wow.
So I just want to say they had Transformers bears there.
Oh nice.
And they had like, you put a hood on them and it was like Bumblebee, and then you like twisted it off and it was like the bear, and it was kind of weird, but.
Huh? What?
Just, the bears transformed.
That's creepy. Where's the stuffing
You like tear
go?
their arms off or something?
Yeah, what the heck?
You just pull the hood off.
Oh, I see.
It's like one of those weird reversible
it's
stuffed
skin.
animal
You
things.
pull the skin off the bear off.
pull
You
its
skin the
flesh.
bear.
All right, bear. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Anyways, I just thought of that.
Who wouldn't?
Cool.
Transformers.
All
The
right.
Last Night.
Brilliant film.
That's the name of one of them?
Yeah, the
Last Night?
one that came out.
Last
Is it K or N? Beginning one.
Okay, because
You believed you said that it was brutal. It's
pretty brutal. It's 2.5 hours long. It's just mind-numbing.
Also, this is back, but did either of you notice that the music, the like orchestral music sounded a lot like Harry Potter?
I mean,
Reeled me back in a few times.
Maybe slightly.
in a way.
Just like the first two movies, the music.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't get that much, but yeah, Okay, well, we have the whole reputation for talking about Transformers in every show, but so I won't talk about it much.
I brought it up.
Yeah.
You did.
Or I guess you brought it up.
Yeah.
I continued it.
All right. Well, any other Transformer or first off, any other Transformers thoughts before we go on?
I can't say.
Yeah. Any other Little Evil thoughts, both for the movie or just in general?
I just want to see what else the director has done.
He did what did I say before? Tucker and Dale versus
Tucker and
Evil.
Larry?
Oh, did he really do? I had no idea Alan Tudyk was in that movie.
Yeah, I love Alan
until
Tudyk.
I saw like a clip from it.
From Dale and Tucker versus Evil?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's him and the guy from Deadbeat.
Yeah.
The show about the guy who can see ghosts. I haven't watched it, but... And he was in this movie, too.
Oh, that's the only other thing that he's done.
Yeah.
Well, also something called Your Bridesmaid is a Bitch.
No, it didn't come out yet. That thing
That's not out yet.
This guy's a visionary. Yeah. So all right. So 1.5 for me.
2.
2.
I feel like we probably could have talked about it versus like the original, instead of.
I'm not watching
Well, I feel
two
like we did a little
scary
bit.
movies.
It's not even scary.
Well,
It's
yeah,
dated.
we mentioned it.
Is Tim Curry was in the original, right?
Yeah,
He
he's
was
quite
probably
good.
dope.
He's quite good. You know,
Is he better than Bill?
I like them kind of both equally.
Probably less attractive, right? So
He just looks like a clown.
people liked it better.
I do like his performance a lot, but I don't know. I just like Bill. Bill had a completely different interpretation.
I wish he was in it more.
He had
Like I said,
mastery
I
of
wish
it.
he talked and stuff.
Exactly.
Dang.
That's something I wanted to mention back on it. Was,
go for it.
You mentioned the conversation at the beginning, which was just sort of a a redo of that iconic scene, and I thought they did a really good job with it. But then I sort of felt like that was just like they're like, oh, we need to get this iconic scene in here. Now we can just sort of use him as a generic horror villain.
Yeah.
After that, and I was like, I wanted more psychological torture. I don't know, like just like him having a back and forth with the children.
Yeah, that's what I was really wanting. So
like that's kind of at least covered in the original. Like Tim Curry spends a lot of time just talking.
Well, also in a weird way makes it more realistic, like more scary because it's more realistic. Like it brings it back down to earth instead of all the random crap.
But like Bill Skarsgård found that perfect, like in his voice, he found that perfect line between me being like, "Wow, I'm really creeped out," and me just wanting to like laugh.
Yeah, his great delivery.
It's like right in there, because sometimes I was like, in any other situation, I'd probably find that really corny.
Yeah.
But it was really creepy instead.
And
just
how
like
how he's taunting the kids in the haunted house.
Yeah.
And all that, like how he's creepily laughing
about popcorn and stuff.
Yeah. As one does.
I don't know how you guys haven't seen this. Watch the internet admit its perverse crush on Pennywise from It. How to deal with the fact that the clown from It is very hot IRL. The list goes on.
Huh.
There's even a sound clip. I don't know if I can play sound clips. It's really short. Can I play it?
Sure.
Okay, this is an interview by somebody. I don't know. They'll get credit eventually. Just kidding, it's not playing.
I have to get out of here. Would you rather eat a booger pizza or kiss Pennywise on the mouth? Kiss Pennywise on the mouth.
Just the kids.
What site is that from?
Oh, do I have to say that?
I
Well, that's
guess
from BuzzFeed.
That's not. That's not
BuzzFeed.
really a hard choice.
They didn't say what size the pizza was. It could be like a bagel bite. They were quick to jump because Bill Skarsgård is gorgeous.
Sure.
I mean, I don't see it, but that's fine. I prefer Alexander
The
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård family is quite large.
Yeah.
Bill has
Also very tall.
Bill has 5
All that
brothers.
nepotism, man.
Yeah, I know.
Running rampant.
Bill has 5 brothers and 1 sister.
Yeah.
Bill and Alexander both, I believe, changed their names when they got famous because everyone else's name is very Swedish.
Sven. No, Stellan? One of them's name's Stellan, right? Yeah, I really
Bill,
like
Alexander, and I believe Gustav are the 3 famous ones.
Oh, there goes the train. All right, well, let's just move. We got one news piece. Jacob has to go in just a few minutes. He's got to get back to school.
Yeah, so you have Stellan is their father.
Okay,
Then you have Alexander, Gustav, Walter, Ija, Sam, Kolbjorn, Ossian, and then their mother's name is Mai.
Sam's the next one coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Gustav.
Ija is the sister. Just wanted to mention that.
Cool.
Bill's better than Alexander. I don't care for Alexander Skarsgård.
Excuse me?
Did you see Legend of Tarzan?
I did see Legend of Tarzan.
Yeah. Yikes.
Did you see Big Little Lies?
No.
Was he
So
Game
good.
of Thrones?
Did you see? No, he was not.
No.
Did you see Diary of a Teenage Girl?
No.
Doubt it. Mm-hmm.
Did you see It? Did you see Atomic Blonde?
Yes.
Yeah. Bill's in those.
No, Alexander's so good. He's such a good actor. He always plays a creepwad, but he's a real... Oh, shoot. What's that movie with Julianne Moore? He was so good in that. And he wasn't even mean. What is that movie? Dang it.
I don't know.
Boogie Nights.
What?
Julianne Moore's not.
He was like 5 years old when Boogie Nights was made. What is...
Julianne Moore's not that old.
Sorry, Julianne. Hold on. What Makes You New with Steve Coogan? You know what I'm talking about? He was so good. Okay. He was really good in that. Whatever. Alexander Skarsgård's a great actor. Don't hate.
Cool.
Anyways, I feel like I know what your Star Wars news is going to be.
So I was just going to mention, Colin Trevorrow left Star Wars Episode 9, and now J.J. Abrams is officially on board to direct it.
Yeah. So I was texting my friend the other day, and I was like, guess who's directing Episode 9 now? And he was like, J.J. Abrams, and I was like, yeah, again. And he was like, oh, I was just kidding. It's like, no, he's really good.
Yeah. So he did The Force Awakens, and so now he's doing Episode 9.
He's got a monopoly on the geek world.
I know, right?
Gee willikers.
Which, I mean, is fine. I'm sure it'll be a decent movie, but
There's one of those, what are those called? The sunspot things. If there's one
Lens
of
flare?
those, there's a lens flare. I don't get popcorn. I'll take someone's popcorn, flip it out of my hand, and walk out.
You don't get popcorn? Let's talk
No.
about that.
We shouldn't. I sneak snacks into movies.
So yeah, I'm mostly just getting tired of hearing all the Star Wars news, which I'm talking about right now. So, but,
I'm on board. You know, I thought he did well with the.
Oh yeah, but I kind of wish they would get someone like with a different style, just to see the difference.
This is what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But then they didn't.
And then
for some reason.
the same thing with the Han Solo movie. They left and put in Ron Howard,
Han Solo movie. Just forget about
who has no style.
No, he literally doesn't.
He
It's
did Arrested
true.
Development.
Yeah.
He has no. I agree with Henry. He has no.
I mean,
distinct
there are
look.
movies that I like of his, but
He's a baby Spielberg.
stylistically, he has nothing.
They're all the same.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure it'll be a cool movie, but I don't know. Sorry, my dog's clawing at the door. But yeah, do y'all have any thoughts more than what we're just
I
talking
have no thoughts about Star
Kind of
Wars.
expected, I think.
Yeah.
Just no thoughts.
Because we were talking about this last week. Do you think Star Wars, with all these director changes, are going to be screwed pretty
I
soon?
don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, I think there might be.
Is there going to be a Ewan McGregor movie? Is my only question.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think if they try and continue it past 9, we'll have a problem.
Yeah.
And the Han Solo movie's already just
it's fucked.
Set up a garbage.
Yeah.
It does have a good cast though, right? Amelia
suppose.
Clark's in
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I hate who they picked for Han.
I like
Oh,
all
he
the
was great in
Dan
Hail
Ryan.
Caesar.
He's great in everything he's in.
Yeah, but he does not look like Harrison Ford, like
Yeah, he
a
does.
younger Harrison Ford.
Meh.
Tomato, tomato. You know.
A weird face.
Weird face.
Just go back to playing like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be okay with that actually.
Oh, he does do a lot of southern accents. I thought he had a real one until I discovered.
Oh, really?
Otherwise, yeah.
I do like the other cast though.
Yeah.
Michael K. Williams got fired though.
I know, or he got cut.
Who?
They hired.
Michael K. Williams, who's that character actor? He was in The Wire and some other shit.
All right.
They hired Paul Bettany though, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Too many changes. Too many changes.
There's a lot going on. That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
Granted, this movie was in development for a very long time.
Long time, yeah.
But that's why it got muddled, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm glad Trevorrow left because Jurassic Park, our world was
great.
I did not see it. Once again, I like Nick Robinson. Irrelevant.
5 stars.
Oh, jeez. This guy. All right, well.
On that note.
Yeah.
I rewatched Victor Frankenstein to cheer me up as
Brilliant
I can't
film.
do anything, and I was so sad I realized it was bad. I said, no! No! We can stay in this, Chloe. We can stay in this.
Go watch that. Wait, you talking about that movie with Daniel Radcliffe?
Which one?
The Frankenstein movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it bad?
It's okay.
James McAvoy and Daniel
I must say,
It's
the
watchable.
clothes are on point.
Yeah.
Is what?
The clothes are great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything is good until the last act.
So you like Daniel Radcliffe? Have you seen Swiss Army Man?
Oh yeah, she's
I've
seen like
it about
she's seen like
80,000
everything.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have not seen that.
Oh, it's good, man. That was good.
Well, until it makes me sad. I don't like the end, but I can get through.
And I'm excited for that Jungle movie. You know,
Yeah.
the one man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, see how that is.
Did you ever see like Imperium?
Yeah,
Of course,
we
we've
talked about
talked
that a few
about it.
times. Yeah, it's good. Good film. Good film.
So you've seen Horns?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she's seen like everything.
Okay.
I haven't seen when he was a baby.
Equestria.
All the shit, man.
What? Are you
Huh?
talking about
The horse musical.
It's not a musical, first of all.
Where he has his penis. out.
Equus.
Yeah, Equus, sorry. He has his penis out.
Well, yeah, that is true. That was a play. It's not a movie. Henry's sick of talking about Dan Radcliffe, so he left.
No, my dog was going crazy. Do you have to go, Jacob?
I could probably hang around if you want to do. You usually do like questions, right?
I got a question.
Yeah,
I just got one question.
I
So.
can hang around.
Oh, sorry for the noise. My dog's invading.
For a few minutes.
Dog's invading. Alrighty. So that's about it for the news.
That's it for the news?
There's not much going on. I mean,
Man,
do you have anything else?
No, but...
Reboots everywhere.
It's just a bunch of shit. Yeah, I mean, there's not really any new trailers or... There's a lot of good stuff coming out of TIFF, but...
Yeah. TIFF, I think that TIFF always has so many better movies, or at least movies more to my taste, or like more contemporary than like both Cannes and Sundance. Like,
I really want to go to TIFF at some point.
Yeah, TIFF is great.
I mean, Sundance was great, but I would like to go to TIFF maybe next year or something. Be cool. We should do a
there podcast at TIFF.
Yeah, and then go see the films and talk about it. That'd be cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's organize that.
Yeah.
All right, so the filmbudspodcast@gmail.com is the address that you can reach us. We'd love to hear from you. Always like hearing from
And
you.
now we have an Instagram.
Yes.
Because I got really bored.
Chloe got really bored one day and created an Instagram. And so you can also reach us on Twitter and Facebook. We had a guy reach us on Twitter last week. Treat Freak, his name was. So, brilliant name. All right, so anyways. Yeah, so email us with questions, comments, anything you'd like, hate mail, whatever.
Oh.
And so this one is from Adam. He says, "Hello all, I've been enjoying the show each week and wanted to ask your thoughts on the upcoming premium video on demand service where you can pay $50 to have newly released movies in your house on release day. I'm well aware of your theater experiences." I
have the creepiest guy in my theater for it, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
He kept coming in and leaving. He kept getting closer.
Scared.
No. He kept getting closer each time he came back in. Like he moved one seat over closer to us each time he came back in.
Oh, that is weird.
Sorry, continue.
Okay, so well aware of your theater experiences. Sorry, Chloe's losing it. And viewpoints, but just wanted to hear some further ideas and thoughts about it. And no, I refuse to state my location, so take that.
All right.
Man.
That
was directed at me, Jacob. I don't know.
We're always talking about people don't mention themselves, so he's striking back. So,
gosh.
Thanks so much for the show.
What's his name?
Adam.
I'll find you.
All right. So apparently this could be happening within the next year. Mm-hmm. I heard recently. Are y'all on board with this, or do you think movies like?
I think it's garbage.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm not gonna. I mean, I have very strong opinions about it, but like if they're gonna go through with it, people will use it because there are people who will. I'm not gonna stop those people from using it, but
that'd be tricky.
You know, I mean,
for you to do.
less people in the theater when I go see. You know, $50 a year to see, like, to never go to a movie theater. I think
no, it's a movie, like each movie.
It's $50?
Yeah.
Oh, screw
okay.
that.
That's I think that Movie Pass is a much better thing. You know, people are already using that. You know, I have some friends who have used it to a good effect, like, for quite a while now.
$50 a movie?
That's what I heard.
Why don't you just go to the movie theater?
Because they want, so that way they can have it in their house, like
on their smaller screen,
like a Netflix film.
$10 a month to see a movie every day. In theaters. That's a much better. Much better deal.
I'm not sure that exists. I think that's a fairy tale.
Oh yeah, it's been
the
causing a lot of
the app
controversy.
is just very buggy, so it doesn't work for everyone. So but like the people that it does work for,
it's sketch-tastic.
I've seen some people use it.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Anyways, this on-demand service, it's far too expensive. There will be people who use it. I won't stop them. It's fine. But I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just... I like that theater experience.
Yeah,
I like seeing movies on the big screen.
I also wasn't cast in Stranger Things when I was 5 and therefore don't have $50 to spend on a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing Doctor Strange and Dunkirk in theaters the way that I did was extremely memorable.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Dunkirk in the 75mm IMAX, Doctor Strange IMAX 3D. Those are two movies I can think of in recent memory, at least, that would not be the same at home on my TV. No matter how swaggy my entertainment system is, like unless you have a movie theater in your house, then I can see maybe staying home. But it's garbage.
I mean, for me, even though I absolutely hate a lot of moviegoers nowadays because people are talking and on their phones, and
just always go to the Alamo Draft House.
Yeah.
They don't play that.
What is that? Is that in Greensboro?
No.
Is it in?
Oh, it is?
No. Is it in Los Angeles or is it in like Boston?
There's one in Texas.
Yeah.
So fly to Texas.
They just have very very hard rules. If you're on your phone, they'll just kick you out. It's like
no way.
Leave.
Paul Davis, who's on the show, I think lives near the one in Texas.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Do they just stand next to it? Is there like a person?
No, they come in, they look around, and they're like, "Hey, screen, get out."
Yeah.
They used to do that at Timberline.
And then people leave angry Google reviews about how they've just been so
good.
They've been so offended and so it's an unfair treatment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like the theater experience too, even though sometimes it can be annoying with people.
Sometimes you meet people. You make friends.
Every once in a while. Sometimes you meet people, like, you met them where they slowly move closer and closer to you.
Oh my god. I was scared.
Some friends you don't want.
So scared.
But, I mean, yeah, seeing something like Dunkirk and, Fury Road or, I don't know, a lot of the big summer films would not be the same if I was just watching it at home for the first time.
No way.
Definitely not.
I have a projector and I watch movies, like on a wall. Still different.
Yeah. But, yeah, so
Mostly because my sister comes in and annoys me.
Yeah. Classic Chima.
What's going on?
And I think that it's such a stupid idea. And I know there are a lot of directors out there who are criticizing it because it's...
I would imagine that... Did the theaters get some sort of cut?
I would think not.
Yeah, so that...
You're hurting theaters and
this is going straight from Hollywood to your house.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I guess they're doing this because the box office has been slowly declining lately, and so they're like, oh...
It's because of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, they did a study of that and said
That's what they say.
Doesn't affect it, so...
No, that's what they say.
Are you sure?
It's what they think, so it must be true.
Oh, yeah, what studios think, so...
It's like Uwe Boll said that the Hollywood is just killing his ability. His movies aren't successful because they're bad, but because
Uwe Boll, is that how you say it?
But because the
What did he
studios.
do?
He's like the worst director of all time.
Who is he?
The bad director, a famous bad director.
The bad director.
What did he direct?
Far Cry, Postal 1 and 2.
Brilliant.
Alone in the Dark.
I'm very out of the loop on this one. Usually I know stuff.
Or how George Romero, may he rest in peace, said that
I know he
said
is.
that like Brad Pitt ruined zombie movies or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But
He's
so
only in one zombie movie, no?
Yeah.
But it was done after that. I did hate that movie.
Mm.
Oh, and he said The Walking Dead ruined
Oh,
zombies.
yeah, he's The Walking Dead, yeah. Which that seems more plausible.
I mean, it ruined his version of zombies.
Yeah.
Well, according to your friend, it brought it back. He wasn't a leper, he was a zombie.
Yeah. But yeah, if this does end up happening, which I'm guessing it will, I definitely won't use it, especially since it's $50 a film. I'm fine with watching Netflix original
If I'm paying
movies.
$50 for a movie to watch at my house, they better send the main actor from the movie to my house to watch it with
Every
me.
time I get on Netflix, I just see 20 new original.
Yeah.
What?
It's just insane.
There's
now.
nothing new on
It's
there.
just insane.
I mean, I'm fine watching Okja and some other films on Netflix in my house, but I don't want to watch Dunkirk for the first time in my house on a regular TV or something. And so, Adam, if you have thoughts, or if anyone else has thoughts, let us know.
Come on the show.
Don't bother with Adam.
Yeah, he's useless.
We're gonna go ahead and head out.
All right.
Just to make sure.
So, everyone say bye to Jacob.
Bye, Jacob.
Bye, Jacob.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, Jacob's out of here. It was kind of funny. I was watching him. He had trouble opening the gate.
How?
Because it's like a 2-part gate.
Jacob.
He was trying to open the big part.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, no. And I was like, I had to go out and show him guidance. But he got it.
I'm happy.
He got it. So, all right. Yeah, well, it's just us two. And there's not much. Chloe, did you have any other thoughts on the premium VOD thing? No. Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking forward to it if it ever happens, so. But if that means if the obnoxious people stay home, then sure, I'll support it.
That's fair.
So.
You do you, people. I don't understand how it works, but I also don't understand.
I think you need some type of special box that you'll have to get. Something.
Too much hassle.
Exactly, yeah. Pointless. All right, well,
Did you hear that Darren Aronofsky's directing To Kill a Mockingbird?
What? No, I did not hear that.
Foolish.
That sounds awesome.
It sounds awful.
God, I think that sounds great.
Everything he does is so overblown and everything. It's simple and smooth. Like, not to harp, but like if Cary Fukunaga directed it, I'd be so in. It'd be the best movie ever made.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Mother next week.
Is that what we're doing?
Oh, yeah. That's the big movie of the week.
I hear you.
Yeah, well, I'm an Aronofsky fan. Did you like Noah?
No.
Oh, God.
Don't like
Brain
anything.
didn't either.
I don't like anything he's
The other
done.
goofballs.
I literally don't think there's been one movie he's
Not
done.
Black Swan?
No. Stupid. Also, I watched it with my dad, so awkward. But
That would be awkward.
But, I mean, Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis, you make me not like it. That's impressive. Not a fan.
Huh.
Have you ever seen the movie that Natalie Portman directed?
No,
In
that's
Hebrew.
Jim was telling me about that. I do want to see
I
that.
bet she was.
She told me about that a while back. It sounds interesting. I'd seen it on Amazon, but I just haven't watched it yet. It was A Tale of Love and Darkness.
Yes.
Is it good?
Based on a true story.
Yeah.
Based on a book. Based on a true story.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
And it's all. It's not in English, right?
No, it's in Hebrew.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that today or something.
Today? I mean, what else are you doing?
I got my day off.
But it's a beautiful day.
Oh, that's true. I might just go outside and I'll go sunbathe. All right. Well, I guess just move on to our picks of the week. Oh shit, we didn't get Jacob's. God damn it.
We could probably guess it. Go see it for the 5th time.
What would his be?
I don't know.
Anyways.
Met him twice.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah. I'll just look on his
I
letter.
want to know. You have to, now that Jacob's gone, you have to tell me the weirdest thing he's ever done.
Actually, I mean, I don't know him like. He's not like my.
You're
best.
not bros?
Oh, we are, but not like. We had one class together, and that's where we were friends.
Man.
And so, I mean, he's awesome.
You're really bonded, I guess, in that class.
Oh yeah, we're good buddies.
Man,
I mean,
I was under the impression that you were homies forever and ever.
I guess we are. I mean, you know.
It's really unprofessional. Henry's just eating grapes.
These muscadine grapes are to die for. No, but he's awesome. So yeah, and we talk on Facebook like all the time when we're talking movies and shit. You know.
Oh, I'm so disappointed now. All right.
Oh, we are bros.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't listen to Chloe, Jacob, if you're listening to this last little section. Thank you for coming on.
We're bros too, Jacob.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to our picks of the week, I suppose. Not much else to talk about.
Mine are a mess. You go first. They keep coming into my mind and leaving again.
All right, so I had already mentioned it, but It Comes at Night, which I saw yesterday, is really quite good. It's a very suspenseful, unsettling movie, and it's a little misleading in terms of the marketing, but just in terms of being a suspenseful, thrilling movie, it's great, and it's very well acted. Joel Edgerton is great, shot very well, awesome score, and
I like a good score.
yeah, very good score. And it's very short. It's like an hour and a half, so it's a pretty tight film. And I haven't seen the director's first movie, which was Krishna, something like that. Haven't seen that yet, but
beats me.
But yeah, it just came out on Blu-ray and DVD, and that you can get it on. I think you can rent it on Amazon as well. So yeah, give that one a look. Definitely an underrated movie of 2017 for sure. But and then I also just started reading the Stephen King's It, the novel, and I'm about 100 pages in, and it's very dark. It's definitely a little slow too, because it's 1,000+ pages.
I've never read anything he's written because I'm too scared to.
Mm-hmm. It's
but
very
I think
strange.
I really should give it a shot.
I mean, this one's good. It's just it is spending a lot of time in the adult section.
Does it go back and forth?
Yeah, but it's...
That's neat.
I've been on with the adults for about 80 pages. I'm getting a little tired
sick of them.
Like, I just want to go back to the kids, especially after having just seen the movie. And so... But it's very well written, and it's...
Is it funny?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of the... Which I'm guessing they'll touch on in the sequel of, like, the racism and prejudice and of the townspeople against the kids. And so that's very interesting. And it's also weird because they like really indulge in that, and some of the kids like weird, creepy thoughts, and it's very strange at times.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, and so
this is what I'm saying.
Kids like feeling like very terrible about themselves. It's like, oh yeah, come beat me up. I don't care.
God.
Stick a thing in my eye. I don't care.
Oh no.
I know, seriously. Yeah.
See, I can't read that.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. I did like the opening scene with it that they also have in the movie. I really liked with the sewer sequence, and so I'm definitely enjoying it so far. But it is a bit of a slow read at first, and so I'm hoping
it might continue to be.
I'm sure it'll be slow through the whole thing, but I'm hoping it cuts back to the kids soon, because that's where the money is.
Which is probably the problem with the sequel.
Yeah, and so give that one a look. I mean, it seems like the movie's doing insanely well, so maybe more people will start reading it, because I guess people just have a fascination with creepy clowns.
I don't. But I'm also not really scared of them. I don't know what I'm scared of.
Yeah.
Except for creepy people in movie theaters, but that's understandable.
that's the big one. But yeah, so if you are thinking about reading it, and you've seen the movie or you're curious about, just know it is a bit of a commitment. It's I think 1,100 pages or something, but it's not like a super demanding read. It's kind of pretty easy read for the most part, aside from the dark stuff. So,
which is the whole thing.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's fine.
Yeah, aside from all that.
Well, mine's dark too.
All right, go for it.
The third season, I've been, like I said, injured and I can't do anything at all, and so I indulged and spent a lot of money to watch the new season of Broadchurch, ASAP, and it's not that good, but Broadchurch is still one of the best shows around, so you should watch that, because the first two seasons are available on Netflix.
Yeah, what I've seen of the show, I like it a lot, so.
It's really good.
And David Tennant is great.
David Tennant's bae, so is Olivia Colman. David Tennant was really nice when I met him, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tennant is great in Jessica Jones. Really
We've talked about this. That's so stupid. Anyway, Olivia Colman is the best. Anything with Olivia Colman is going to be good because she's so good.
Yeah.
You know who she is?
I think so.
She's the lead lady in Broadchurch.
Oh, yeah.
She's in Peep Show. Long list. Good in everything.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give her a look.
And I had other stuff. And then Throwback, I already told you, but Gavin and Stacey is one of my favorite shows. It's from like 2002, but it's what made James Corden. It was he wrote it. He couldn't get any roles because of his appearance, I guess. So he and this other lady, Ruth Jones, not this other lady, a lady, James Corden's not a lady, Ruth Jones, they met on the set of this show about chubby people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I don't want to be in chubby people shows my whole life.
Yeah.
So they wrote this show together, and it's called Gavin and Stacey, and it's really good. It's really funny. It's got Rob Brydon, who's in The Trip, but also other stuff. He's really funny.
Yeah. What's that on?
Hulu.
Nice.
Also, it's old. You can probably get it anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's been anything else recently. No, I just watched Little Evil and all that stuff.
It was not good.
Oh, yeah, this is the thing. So, they just released E.T. on 4K yesterday. It's like really nice. And the movie looks amazing. Like, I know plenty of people don't care about 4K, but like, if you want to watch...
I was really hoping it was going to be something more exciting than that.
No, there's one more thing, but the movie looks fantastic. And the lighting, clarity, it looks, and you still got the grain, the film grain, so it's not like it's completely scrubbed to that. Pick that up if you haven't gotten it yet.
And you want
Which
to.
is probably everyone. But it also comes with a little book, like a booklet.
Like I got when I said Hateful Eight. Did you get one of those little booklets?
Yeah. And it has, one of the pages is all the different designs for E.T. before they
cool.
and it's like, it shows all the different concept art for what they're thinking about for his face or for his head. And
that's neat.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And then they also talk about all the different people that worked to get him moving and everything. And so 18 different people helped do the voice, as well as a sea otter.
I love sea otters.
Yeah.
Just otters. I just love otters.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go watch it now.
Yeah. So it's a really great remaster of it, and it looks amazing. And so, and it's also just a amazing movie too.
Sure thing.
Yeah. There are a few movies out there that are as charming and endearing
as they were when you first saw them.
No, just even now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like as E.T. Like it's hard to beat.
Oh, I see. Yeah. This is true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like the scene where he's downstairs and he's running around and he like gets hit by the refrigerator and drinks the beer.
It's cute.
Yeah, drinks the beer. You know, where the girl dresses him up as a woman.
That's pretty cute.
That's all amazing.
That happened to another fun fact about Robert Pattinson that I didn't get to tell you last week. Until he was 11 years old, his older sisters, used to dress him up as a girl, as it were, like in a dress and stuff, and take him out in public. And they said, I can't remember what they said. His name was like, they called him like Caroline or something. Just in public.
But yeah, it's a good time. And they're releasing Close Encounters on 4K next week. Dying to get that. It's going to look great. And so, just a really good time to be alive.
I'm going to see Home Again on the opposite side of the spectrum. Okay.
No,
okay, don't hate.
No, it does look charming.
With Death Note Boy.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nat Wolf. Yeah. The guy who did Death Note had to get rid of his Twitter. Did you see that?
I just saw that last night.
That is so sad. Stop being
He's been getting
people.
death
Doing
threats.
their best.
Jesus. Like, chill out, people.
Hopefully one day we'll be as famous. We get death threats.
We get death threats.
That's the goal.
Yeah, when I get emails for the podcast, they're just death threats. That's when I know
I'll
I've made
send
it.
you some. Maybe like get the
That
ball
works.
rolling.
Get the ball
cosmically.
rolling. That's when I know I've made it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so.
Feel free to send us death threats if you like. We don't care.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam. The worst. All right, well, kind of a shorter show than usual. Probably just because of Braden's absence.
He does chat. That's true.
And also just very little news to talk about for the most part. But hopefully next week will be better. But I guess we can't talk.
I'll be super fun. I'll have just had surgery. I'll be on so many paid meds. I'll be spilling my life out on here.
Yeah, so Chloe's going to have surgery next week. And so
this week.
Or was that Friday?
Yeah, it's really close.
She'll have surgery this week. Hopefully she can come back on.
I think hopefully.
Hopefully something.
Hopefully she'll come out of it.
Hopefully
she'll come back.
Hopefully she'll survive.
Yeah.
And then hopefully she'll come back or be able to come on next week.
Yeah.
But Braden should be back as long as his car is all good.
She whiz.
Yeah. And if we can get maybe Jacob number 2 on, that'd be cool. Or something like that.
Still scared.
Face to face.
No.
That'd be cool. So, all right. Well, I guess that about brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us, as always. You know, you can reach us on Letterboxd, Facebook, Twitter,
and
Instagram now. So,
would you like to know how many followers we have right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Feel free to fudge the numbers
I
a
don't
little
know
bit.
how to tell you. We have, wow, 8 followers.
And you just set it up, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Man, we are blowing up.
Blowing
up.
Only have 2 posts. That might be why.
It's
It's the Filmbuds _podcast.
Okay.
In case, you know.
Yeah.
In case you want to know what we look like or something.
And I just recently created an Instagram too, so I'm on there.
No way.
Yeah, I followed you and you followed me.
Don't tell them that. It's 8 people we don't even know.
I didn't. But yeah, so feel free to reach us at any of those different places.
Tell us if you think Bill Skarsgård is cute
Yeah.
in the creepy clown costume.
You can just send us yes or no.
Yeah,
We'll get the picture.
We'll get it.
All right. Well, we hope you have a good one.
True.
We love talking with you, or to you. We don't talk
At
with you. Love talking at you. So, and we hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Straight ahead.